Hey man, welcome back to the channel, man. Subscribe to the channel, man. Look, so I got some more info that came out about how Big Moochie Grape most definitely dropped the location for Young Dolph. So basically what happened is that when Young Dolph flew in that week, earlier on that week, they basically knew, that the certain flight, like somebody was gonna be coming in, somebody big, right? They knew that the turkey drives and all that was gonna happen, and so Big Moochie Grape, as soon as he figured out, basically like had people go to all the big hotels and everything, and at the Hollywood Hotel, that's where they figured out Dolph location. That's the first location drop that they gave. So there was a lot of people like that was all tied into this. That's where they were going. That's where all these people were popping up to get their pictures. So like these people weren't randomly in these places. You got to understand, these fans weren't in all these exotic places for no reason. They were already told where to be at to go get these pictures, to go and get this, like, the location dropping evidence that they needed. So
you guys gotta really take consideration of the details and just the whole thing, and the people that played a big role in it was basically the people that was around him. Like, they were basically the people who premeditated, as they call it, or as they would call it. Like, if you look at it again, you look and you see the bag in his hand. He had the bag when he got off the plane. You got to understand, when they checked the bag at the TSA, they already had that already documented. And when he came back, he literally let only two people know he was getting off the plane. Once the two people that he let know, one of those people, Big Moochie Grape, he literally, man, he went and basically just set it all up, man. He basically confirmed what was really the money scheme. Like, he wanted the bag. And if you pay attention to it, you will look at the fact that Big Moochie Grape really was mad because Dolph, he really took his idea, and all because he was signed to the label PRE. Y'all got to look at the fact that Big Moochie Grape felt hurt. He was really hurt from that, man. He wanted to get Dolph back. He wanted to get Dolph back by any means. He wanted Dolph to really sit there and suffer for taking his stuff and then flashing it in his face like that. So you got to understand, it was a envy thing. Like, only way a person can envy you is if they in your circle. Only way a person can hate on you if they from far back.
exactly. So that's the motive right there. The fact that Big Moochie Grape wanted that bag, that bag of money, and he was also salty because he thought that he got his idea taken. Which, no, nowadays people have the same ideas. People minds think the same. It's all down. There's not a lot of people that are thinking outside of the box anymore, and Big Moochie Grape is one of them that is not thinking outside. He's just going to do what he knows. So it's like he thought that just because he thought of something or had an idea, that he's the first person in the world to have that idea. Like, a lot of people think that just because they release a lot of certain videos or certain topics, that they're the first people in the world to know or talk about that. So you got to understand that when you do something, it's probably a lot of people who've already done that, and a lot of people who already thought what you thought. Not to make Big Moochie Grape special, to make him think that it was his idea to have that whole paper route name. It was Dolph's idea. We heard that 10 years before Big Moochie Grape ever came around. When Big Moochie Grape was a little baby, young Dolph was still doing PRE music and beefing with Yo Gotti, riding in Roses and stuff back in 2012. And this was and Big Moochie Grape was a little kid back then. So you got to realize that Moochie Grape, he just wanted to kind of get in and then get what he can take out of it, basically. Like, he was just like, he knows that he's not gonna be like the big top like superstar. So he's like, yeah, he's just gonna come in and finesse it, use the money he get to just flip it into the streets. So that's the type of person that you gotta watch out for, you know. That's the type of person who will sabotage everything that's going on to like try to set up Dolph, drop his location, and know that, oh, if he's coming to the hood, he could do a fake robbery, like he could set up a robbery and with one of his street people just to like be like, oh, that's a lick coming in. Like if Big Moochie Grape was still in the streets and wasn't signed, like wasn't attached to PRE, he would have tried to hit a lick on Dolph or somebody in the group, because that's just money walking around basically. So you got to understand, the greed goes a long way, man. They had a lot of hate reasons to do that, but that don't basically put all the blame on Big Moochie Grape. Makita still had a part to do with it. Raven still had a part to do with it. Ruth Chris still had a part to do with it. And specifically Maurice too. And then, you know, you just got to keep understanding that it's a revolving door. What goes around comes around. It's a lot of karma in the situation. And so we really don't know what's going to happen to Big Moochie Grape. We have to keep watching, and you have to keep tuning back to figure out, because if the next show that Big Moochie Grape does, we're going to make sure to, you know, let you know if everything goes smooth, or if he's nervous to even get on the stage, like, or if the person cancels the booking, like we'll let you know. So just stay tuned for that, and everything.
And you guys have to pay attention, because he has a person which is his right-hand man, which is Snoop Bands. Snoop Bands, he's sitting back, like, every show that they do, like, you gotta understand Snoop Bands is there. And I'm thinking, like, why wasn't Big Moochie Grape at Makeda's and Snoop Bands was at the barbershop? Snoop Bands was with Big Moochie Grape in the truck. You gotta understand the Range Rover. Like, y'all gotta pay attention to what's really going on. And if you look at it, Snoop Bands, he really try to stay low key, but he go live so much. He like expose everything. Like he show his cards, man. He really put a lot on the forefront of what's really going on with the case and subliminal messages. And you gotta understand, man, that this ain't nothing that a person really wanna have to keep going through. You see what happened to Gotti. You see what happened to Youngster. Y'all gotta look at that as something like you really can't trust too much, because the people who played a big role in this, like, they really got the L. Like, for the simple fact that Dolph was helping. And then Dolph really put his foot down on all the people that was for him. And you got to look at the fact that all his artists, man, he put them on that plane, man. They ain't never been on no plane, ever. Snoop Bands even said it. Big Moochie Grape even said it. Y'all got to look at the fact he was giving them the money to put in the videos. But once he left, like, his baby mama gave them the stuff that they always wanted from Dolph. So it's like a sad situation going on.
Yeah, and Yo Gotti artists, they had to drive or take the bus to go to their shows and all of their tours, like taxis and Ubers, and Dolph and PRE people, they got to fly first class. So it just goes to show who's really the good guys and who's really the bad guys, and who cares and who doesn't care. Like, it's for you to decide, but let me know what you think in the comments. And if you're rocking with Young Dolph and PRE, man, go ahead and let us know in the comments with the Dolphins in the chat. Like this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and come back, because we have breaking news that coming on the next video. So